Alright guys, today we're going to try to replace a front tire on an XR650L. It's a 2012. It does have XR450 forks on it. So the procedure is going to be a little bit different. I have to follow instructions for a XR450. I've never done this before, so we'll see how it goes.
Alright, we've taken the brake caliper off to get it out of the way. We've loosened the these clamp bolts, both sides, and removed the axle nut, and I'm going to try to pound the axle out now.
Always make sure you use a block of wood and not the hammer directly. You could damage the threads. Now we'll just pull the axle the rest of the way out. Alright, so we just we have to let the air out of here. I've got these tire spoons that I got. I don't remember where I got them. I'll go ahead and plug Rocky Mountain ATV though. They've got a lot of good stuff, and I buy some stuff from them from time to time. The kit came with a valve stem remover, core remover, so I'll go ahead and take the cap off and remove the core to let the air out. Core. Put this in the pouch so it doesn't get dirty or lost or damaged. Now, ooh, this is a stiff tire. Breaking the bead on this, it's not too hard actually. Now, see if I can do this without damaging the tube or the rim. Never done this before. I've done it on bicycles, but not on motorcycles, so there might be a lot of swearing, so cover your kids' ears. There we go. Tire just doesn't quite clear the there we go. Probably should have started at the opposite side of the valve stem, but oh well. I'm sure I probably killed that tube. There we go. Seeing them pop the bead off this side out, and then push the rim down and out. I guess I'll give that a try. So all the sweating I'm doing is dropping it all over the bead. Go. Go. There we go. That's how you do it. Alright. It did come off that way. What I've got here are some Shenko tires. Oh, by the way, the tires I'm taking off are Dunlop. Let me see. I think they're 606. Yeah, tires I'm taking off are the
Dunlop D606 tires. They've got that really bad cupping that occurs on them. So, and they're really, quite frankly, on some of the roads I've ridden, Forest Service roads that are hard pack with some loose stuff on it, they're horrible. They're just absolutely horrible. The 606 rears are okay. They're more aggressive. They're okay for a dual sport, but they're not great on the road. They hold okay on the hard pack, and you know, with the loose stuff on top, you just have to be careful. But I'm switching them out now. These are not dual sport tires. Let me get them unwrapped for you. Let me get these tires unwrapped and we'll have a look. All right, the tires I got are the Schenko 216MX for the front. They look like there. And then I got the 525 Cheater for the rear. And the reason I did that is because it's fall, we're going into winter. Most likely only be riding around my little track here that I've got at the house. Won't be doing any road riding probably, and if I do, it'll be very minimal to get from trail to trail. But this should give me some better traction on the dirt. So I'll give it a try. I'll get this front one mounted up. I don't know if I'll get the back one done today or not, but we'll see. Shimano. Wonder if that'll fit on there. Go ahead and put the tube in here. Let's see. I need a better way to do this. There it is. All right. Grab the valve, line up the valve stem. And you would think. Okay, down the rim. There we go. All right. Well, it's in. Whether it holds air is another story. Let me throw some air in there real quick.
Four to 6 days later.
Alright guys, so I did get those tires changed out. I was having issues with the front one. I did actually pinch the tube, ended up putting a new tube in it that I had anyway. But I did get it back on. The back tire took quite a bit more time. I had to have a friend come over, Tony. You'll see him in some future videos. He's a motorcycle rider too. He injured himself and he's out for a while, but you'll see him on a lot of future videos. But he did come over and help me replace that rear tire, and we had to actually deal with a broken spoke, which means we had to pull a couple of the spokes out to get it in and then re-true that wheel. So we did get it re-trued and back on. As you can see here, the tires are back on, mounted on the bike, retorqued. I did take it out for a quick run. It was a little bit hard to tell performance-wise due to the amount of moisture in the ground, but
because we have had some rain and the top layer is still wet, a little wet, especially in the low areas. So it makes it a little slippery even with the knobby tires, but on the straights and on the drier areas, these tires hook up way better than those D606 tires do. Don't know how they're going to do on the road, but don't much care because I didn't buy them for the road, I bought them for the dirt. We have some cold weather moving in, so I don't know if I'll be riding within the next week. I will try to get it back out and get some video on these tires and offer some impressions on it. However, you know, I'm not here to talk you into buying this brand of tire, any brand of tire. I would actually encourage you, you know, YouTube is a great place to get information from other people about tires, but you know, some people have different motives for pushing different tires. Also, you have no idea what their riding style is, what their conditions are that they ride in and where they ride, and everything varies so much. The best thing to do is to talk to people in your area that ride in the area that you ride in that have similar styles, and ask them what their experiences are with different tires based on the type of riding that you want to do and where you want to ride. That's the best source of information. But I will give you my impressions of these tires on this big heavy bike in this terrain in West Tennessee. And hopefully when the weather's nicer again in the spring, I'll have some different impressions of taking this out to East Tennessee and riding some of the same fire roads and mountain trails. But for now, it'll just be riding around the house here and trying to get a feel for these new tires. I will say that these tires, the previous 606 that came off the rear was, I think, a 140. It's way too big for this bike. I know people like to run those big tires for traction, but the handling can really suffer sometimes. When I ran this out with these new tires on, the handling was so nimble. It was just like a different bike. So the traction may be a little bit different. It's got some big knobbies on it though, so I really doubt it. I actually expect this thing to hook up a little bit better than those 606s did, just because, you know, any dual sport tire is not proficient in one thing or the other. It's just okay at doing both. So anyway, in the future, hopefully we'll get out after this cold weather passes. Hopefully we'll get a warm spell, or I get enough nerve to get out there in the cold and rip around the yard, and if it dries up, we'll see how the traction is with these new tires. So thanks for watching, and remember, if you're driving autocross or riding trails, bob and weave.